This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Barak to Yahweh, Barak to Yahushai, Barak to Yahweh, Barak to Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Bakar, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And the reason why I brought out the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1 and 2, is you're seeing prophecy being fulfilled right before your very eyes. All right? And the Bible said this was going to happen because it's faithful and true. And that's what we're here to tell our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans who are the children of Israel, that, hey, America's going down. All right? All these nations are going down. The reincarnation of the Roman Empire is falling. And you must return to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai because this is it. We're at the end. So let me get into this article. I got a couple of articles. The Lord will is edifying. All right. So this is from RT News. It says, Fall of Empires. London, Washington, and Paris on brink of collapse. Now, this is written by George Gallo. All right. He was a former member of the British Parliament for nearly 30 years. All right. Now he's just a commentator at RT. So he has extensive experience on what happens in government. All right. And he sees the inevitable. Okay. This is these Edomites' own tongue falling upon themselves. Continuing on, it says, despite the thrashing around of the NATO disinformation apparatus, the imperial heartland has entered 2019 in a state of complete chaos. Washington, London, and Paris, the three capitals of the empire, are today effectively ungoverned, shut down, tottering, and on the brink of collapse or under siege by their own people. Right. And this is proof that, the EU, which is the also known as the Ten Horns, all right, they're now breaking apart, all right? And this is all biblical, all right? So let me go to the book of Daniel. I'll start at book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as an iron that breaketh all things shall it break in pieces and bruise. Right. And this goes, let me get you a visual aid, okay, because this is talking about the Roman Empire, all right? And the Roman Empire, if you could see, all right, it was ruling for a long time, all right, but then it got hit with a deadly wound when it got taken down by dark nations. All right, you know what? Let me get that scripture out. I believe it's in the book of Revelation. Salakia. I'm just going. I wrote a couple of scriptures down, but now the Spirit has me to move and find where it says the deadly wound was hit. Spare me one moment. Here it is, Revelation chapter 13 and 3. And I saw on one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Right. Okay. And this is just talking about the rise of the Roman Empire. All right. Because it was wounded, it fell, and now it's being revised again. And that's what you see with all the European nations as well as America. All right. Because this is the reincarnation of Rome all over again. All right. So let me get back to this visual aid one more time. All right, so there you go. There's the Roman Empire. It's now revived. Okay, so now you have what's known as divided kingdoms headed by the revived Roman Empire. Okay, so now let me go back to the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Okay, let me get you this visual aid, all right? Okay, and these are the kingdoms, all right, that they are divided, but they all follow under the laws and systems of the Roman Empire. Okay, that's that steel, that's that once again that strength of iron. All right, and let me get another scripture just to bring it out. I believe it's the book of Daniel one more time, 7 verse 7, just to reiterate. Says right here, book of Daniel 7 and 7. After these I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast. And what's that fourth beast? Rome, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had a great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Okay, once again, all right, the 10 horns. France, Italy, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, West Germany, Denmark, United Kingdom, Greece, and Spain. That's the European nations. And now, of course, they broke it to now 28 states, but at the end of the day, they all come from the original 10. And this is what John the Revelator saw. Okay? Let's get back to book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Okay, verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Right, you have, and if you look at economic wise, all right, you see that Britain, France, and Germany are the strong parts of the EU. All right, the 10 horns. All right, and then what are the weak parts? You have Italy, Spain. What's another country that's completely weak, and they need creditors like Germany, Britain, and and France. Portugal. All right, that's another weak country. All right, just to name a few. So. And that's why you're seeing the division, the divide, in which you're seeing now the fall of empires. All right, that there's so much chaos, all right, within the European Union, all right, which is the 10 horns. All right. So now what's happening now? Well, you have NATO. All right. Now getting angry because who's really causing the problem? All right, America. So now let's go read this article, because then I'm going to get into Revelation 17, and Lord willing, this was edifying. That should be it. Plus Donald Trump. Donald Trump. I'll get into this article. Donald Trump wants to leave NATO. In fact, I'll get to this real quickly. Trump discussed pulling U.S. from NATO. Aides say admin new concerns over Russia. There are a few things that President Putin and Russia desire more than the weakening of NATO, the military alliance among the United States, Europe, and Canada that has deterred Soviet and Russian aggression for 70 years. Last year, President Trump suggested a move of a tantamount to destroying NATO, the withdrawal of the United States. You see that? And this is going to make the European Union very angry with America. All right, because they're the ones, all right, that are in NATO, and America was a big protection for these European unions, all right, being in NATO, and now Trump wants to pull out, and this is going to make them mad and say, you know what, we'll just align with Russia. But let me get into this article, because it gets deeper to why the European Union with the 10 horns, all right, when they gave up their power up to the beast. Why it's going to get deeper when they are going to aggressively attack America, because from this article, it's just plain why America is about to be public enemy number one among all the nations under the sun. It says Europe on the brink of collapse. It says the empire's European castle of vassals is crumbling right in front of our eyes, but nobody seems to see it. The European Union, the conglomerate of vassals, Trump calls them irrelevant, and he doesn't care what they think about him. They deserve to be collapsing. They, the vassalic EU, a group of 28 countries, some 500 million people with a combined economy of a projected 19 trillion US dollar equivalent, about the same as the US, has submitted themselves to dictate of Washington in just about a very important aspect of life. The EU has accepted on orders by Washington to sanction Russia, Venezuela, Iran, and a myriad of countries that have never done any harm of any of the 28 European member states. And if you see, all right, it's really America that's being the aggressive nation, all right, Babylon, to all these other countries that don't want to follow their way. And so the EU has just been literally America's, I mean, lack of better word, America's bitch, just following everything America does. But now it's now falling apart because EU's suffering economically. All right, EU's and a lot of these European nations, they now want to be nationalized. They want to nationalize themselves. Hence, let me go back to Book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Right, the European Union. At one point, all right, the European Union was together, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Exactly. Now they're separating from themselves. They're now nationalizing themselves. Each nation wants to be independent, want to do their own thing, and they want to run away from the headquarters, which is Brussels. All right? Let's go on. The EU has accepted humiliation of military impositions by NATO, threatening Russia and China with ever more advancing military bases toward Moscow and Beijing. The point that Brussels' foreign policy is basically led by NATO, you see? It was clear from the very get-go that the U.S. sanctions regime imposed on Russia and all the countries refusing to submit to the whims and rules of Washington directly and via the EU was hurting the EU economically far more than Russia. All right? Because, yeah, the EU is suffering. Because why? This is specifically true for some of the southern European countries whose economy depended more on trading with Russia and Eurasia than it did for other EU countries. Exactly. All right? So you're seeing, all right, the EU like, hey, man, we're suffering economically by following your ways, America, with these sanctions. All right? With you having an aggressive foreign policy against Russia, China, all right, and so on and so forth. Iran. The sanctions disaster really hit the fan when Trump unilaterally decided to abrogate the nuclear deal with Iran and reimpose heavy sanctions on Iran and on everybody who would do business with Iran. European hydrocarbon giants started losing business. That's when Brussels, led by Germany, started mumbling that they would not follow the U.S. and even that they would back European corporations, mainly hydrocarbon giants, sticking to their contractual arrangements they had with Iran. Right. So now Brussels, all right, is now like, man, we need Iran's oil, and we have done business with Iran. All right. So now you're seeing a major division. And what you're seeing is the European Union, all right, falling economically, and which will coincide with them saying, you know what, we're going to use NATO, but NATO's going to attack America because it's America causing all this madness, causing our hardships. America's causing our grief. Too late. European business have lost all confidence in Brussels' EU administration's feeble and generally untrustworthy words. Many breached their long-standing and, after a nuclear deal, renewed contracts with Iran out of fear of punishment by Washington and lack of trust in Brussels' protection. Case in point is the French-British petrol giant Total, which shifted supply sources from Iran to Russia. No, not to the U.S., as was, of course, Washington's intent. The damage is done. The vassals are committing slow suicide. Exactly. So they're doing business among themselves. They're either working with Russia, some European states, or they're working with Iran, some European states. They're literally getting away from America. The people have had it. More than half of the European population wants to get out of the fangs from Brussels, but nobody asks them nor listens to them. And that in the so-called heartland of democracy, that's why people are now up in arms and protesting everywhere. In one way or another, in Germany, France, the UK, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Hungary, Poland, the list is almost endless, and it can be called genetically the yellow vest after the new French Revolution. Right, and that's once again this visual aid, all right, back to the divided kingdoms headed by the divided Roman Empire. And back, let's just get to the point. Daniel, book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And that's what's happening, man. All these nations want to separate themselves. There's some that can't trust Brussels. There's some that do trust Brussels. All right, but guess what? All these European nations, the European Union, all right, the 10 horns, all right, they're going to go. Let's get now to the book of Revelation. They're going to be unified in one thing and one thing only: to attack America and blow this fucking country, okay, off the map. All right, where all you're going to see is dust here. All right, because fuck America. This is the reason why. It's because the whore is the problem. So let's go to book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even is of the eighth, which is America, and is of the seven. Right, and it's talking about the 7 major governments of you Edomites, you so-called white people. All right, you got Germany major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, the German minor, the British, and the Greeks. All right, these are your empires. All right, and is of the 8 because America rides all these empires. All right, because it's America is the spearhead, or is the chief head of the revised Roman Empire. All right, which is came out of the beast. Okay, and goeth into perdition. Right, why go into perdition? Why is America going to go into perdition? Because of what it's been doing. All right, to its own allies. Okay, and what does perdition mean? In the Apolala, what does Esau say? All right, just to see what these devils, how they pronounce it. Salakia.
Strong's G 684. Apolia.
All right, so that's, and it says it's defined as destroying, utter destruction of vessels, perishing, ruin, destruction, a destruction which consists of eternal misery and hell. Right, because you're gonna burn. You're going to burn, all right? So that's what's coming, all right? That's what's coming to America mainly. So let's get back to the scripture. America's causing all these problems. And if you can't see it, hey, man, that's because the Lord blinded you. If you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Verse 12. All right, and you Edomites, I don't give a damn if you see it or not. Fuck you and die, man. Fuck you. That's how I look at you Edomites. Revelation 17 and 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings of 1 hour with the beast. Right, and they gave their power up to the beast, okay, which is NATO. All right, that's the 10 horn, that's the EU. That's outside America, okay, and Canada, because Canada and America are not part of the EU. They're not part of the 10 horns. And if you look up here, all right, that's why the visual aids is so important, all right, because it looks, you can really see, all right, the prophecies moving, all right? That's why the scriptures are true. It says the 10 horns represent common market of the European Economic Community, EEC, established in 1958. Today, the EEC is known as the EU, the European Union. So you have Belgium, once again, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, England and Ireland, Western Germany, right? Because Spain and Portugal just left Spain, all right? Because Spain was ruling, and Portugal was part of Spain. England, the same thing. Ireland was part of England. They just broke out, but they're still part of the 10, all right? The original 10. You got to understand that. NATO is an acronym for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It was established August 4th, 1949, consists of 19 nations: Greece, Italy, Spain, France, West Germany, United Kingdom, Portugal, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Canada, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Turkey, United States, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic. Right. But there's 2, all right, that are not part of the EU, and that's Canada and the United States. All right, just to make that point. So let's get back to book of Revelation 17 and 13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right, NATO. Okay. Verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they are with him, are called and chosen and faithful. Right. Because, the NATO will try to go to war against the Lord eventually, and they're going to lose because Yahweh Shai is coming with his angels. All right. And these angels are going to put damage on you, NATO, on your NATO military. All right. NATO's going to be destroyed, okay, by the Lord after NATO launches intercontinental ballistic missiles on America. Verse 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Right, and this is talking about America, all right, the great whore, all right, and isn't America known as a melting pot? There's multiple languages here, multiple cultures, all right. Continuing on, it says, 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Right, and that's the point. They're going to hate the whore, which is America, because what America's been doing. All right? And the EU the European Union states hate Americans. That's why the State Department has a caution and advisory saying when you travel outside of America, if you go into Europe, I keep a low profile. All right? That's because all these nations, these European nations know it's America that's causing their problems, their grief. And shall make her desolate and naked, shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right. And that's the nukes flying to America by NATO. All right. Which is going to be all these the 10 horns. All right. Except you, America. All right. Because you're going to get destroyed because it's your judgment. Verse 17, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdoms unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. Right, back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, because, hey, the scriptures do not lie. America is going to be destroyed by fire. All right, NATO is going to launch intercontinental ballistic missiles, all right, which NATO consists of the 10 horns, all right, because they hate America, because of what America is doing. And why? For the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, right, because they are faithful and true. Verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest, the great city which reigned over the kings of the earth, right, America, all right, and it's your time to be destroyed, America. So Lord willing, this edify. Hey, once again, the European unions are getting angry. All right. They're now separating. All right. They're becoming nationalists. They want their own financial economy. And guess what? The only thing they're going to agree upon is destroying America. That's it. Everything else they're divided on. And that's just the times that we're living, because we're living at the end. So if you're so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, you are the children of Israel. You need to repent, come back to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, learn on the great millstone, because this system is done. All right, this whole system, this Roman Empire reincarnation is finished. And if you can't see it, that means you're wicked. The Lord ain't dealing with you, and death upon you and your children and your household. Oh, and you heathens, get ready to go into slavery. All right, your time is up, especially you so-called white people, Edomites. All right, death to America. All right, and that's what it is. And with that, shalom.